Understanding schedule. A. Ownership and legal description. In the previous section, we introduced the title report and learned how it verifies ownership, discloses encumbrances, and provides the foundation for title insurance. Now, we will focus on the first part of that report, Schedule A, which sets the stage for everything that follows. Schedule A identifies the who and what of the transaction, who owns the property, who will be insured under the title policy, and what property is being conveyed. It is the foundation of the title report, and accuracy in this section determines whether the transaction can legally and successfully close. Purpose of schedule. A schedule. A provides the essential facts that define the transaction. It includes 1. The name of the current vested owner. 2. The type of estate or interest being conveyed, fee simple, leasehold, etc. 3. The proposed insured parties, buyer and lender. 4. The legal description of the property. This section essentially answers 3 questions. Who currently owns the property? What is being transferred? Who will receive the insurance coverage? For example, Schedule A might read, the estate or interest in the land described in this report is fee simple, vested in John R. Adams and Mary Adams, husband and wife, as community property with right of survivorship. That single sentence defines ownership, marital status, and vesting, each of which carries legal consequences under Arizona law. Vesting and ownership in Arizona. In Arizona, ARS paragraph 33-404 requires that deeds include the name and marital status of natural persons taking title. This law exists to ensure that the proper ownership category is established and to prevent disputes later on. The most common vesting types seen in Schedule A include sole and separate property, used when one spouse holds property individually and the other signs a disclaimer deed. Community property with right of survivorship, CPW Ross. Common for married couples who want the surviving spouse to automatically inherit. Joint tenancy with right of survivorship, similar to SEPROS, but available to non-married co-owners. Tenancy in common. Each party owns a defined share that may be unequal and freely transferable. Example, if Schedule A shows ownership as Jane Miller, a married woman, as her sole and separate property, but the property was purchased during marriage, escrow will require a disclaimer deed signed by her spouse. This ensures compliance with Arizona's community property laws under ARS, paragraph 25-11. Agents must be careful when reviewing these details. If vesting information is incorrect, title may not transfer properly, and future claims could arise. Legal description requirements. The legal description in Schedule A defines the exact boundaries of the property. Arizona law under ARS, paragraph 33-401A states that a conveyance of land shall be made by an instrument in writing, signed by the grantor, and must contain a description of the property. Unlike a street address, which can change, the legal description never changes and must match county recorder records. The 2 most common formats are lot and block description, common in subdivisions. Example, Lot 52, Santan Heights, Phase 2, according to Book 112 of Maps, page 6, Pinal County, Arizona. Meets and bounds, description, used in rural or custom parcels, referencing distances and compass bearings from fixed points. Example, a Prescott Properties legal description read Lot 7, Pine Ridge Estates, but the title commitment mistakenly included Lot 17. Because the agent and escrow officer reviewed Schedule A early, the error was corrected before recording. Had this gone unnoticed, the buyer could have unknowingly purchased the wrong parcel, a serious issue under ARS Paragraph 33-801, defining real property for conveyance purposes. Estate or interest, being conveyed schedule. A also identifies whether the estate being insured is fee simple, complete ownership, or leasehold, ownership for a fixed term. Most residential transactions in Arizona involve fee simple estates, but leasehold ownership occasionally appears in land lease communities or certain Native American trust land leases. If the property is leasehold, the title commitment will specify the lease's term, expiration, and recording number. Agents should recognize that leasehold interests can affect financing and resale value. Example: a buyer in Scottsdale discovered through Schedule A that the property was part of a 99-year land lease expiring in 2085. Because the agent explained the implications and recommended review by the lender and attorney, the buyer was able to adjust financing and move forward fully informed. Common issues discovered in Schedule A. 1. Incorrect vesting or marital status. Escrow may require additional deeds or affidavits to correct ownership inconsistencies. 2. Errors in legal description. Even minor errors, such as Lot 51 instead of Lot 15, can delay closing. 3. Mismatched property type. If the title report describes the property as leasehold, but the MLS lists it as fee simple, clarification must be obtained before closing. 4. Trusts and entities. When a property is held in a trust or LLC, escrow will need copies of trust certificates or organizational documents to verify authority. Case example: Barnes v. Lopez, 1985. In this Arizona Supreme Court case, the sellers attempted to convey property without full legal ownership due to a vesting error. The court emphasized that a valid conveyance requires clear evidence of ownership and proper legal description. This principle reinforces why Schedule A accuracy is critical in every Arizona transaction. Agents' role under commissioner's rules. While escrow and title officers prepare the report, agents have a duty under R4 28-1101E to disclose any material facts that could affect the transaction. If the agent identifies a potential issue in Schedule A, such as a missing spouse on title, unclear ownership, or inconsistent property description, they must disclose it promptly and recommend professional assistance. An agent is not expected to interpret title law, but is expected to exercise reasonable care in recognizing when something appears incorrect. Proactive review of Schedule A demonstrates professionalism and reduces the risk of last-minute title delays. Key takeaways. Schedule A identifies who owns the property, who will be insured, and what is being conveyed. Legal descriptions must comply with ARS paragraph 33-401A and match county recorder records. Vesting and marital status must comply with ARS paragraph 33-404 and ARS paragraph 25-211 regarding community property. Agents must follow R4 28-1101E and R4 28-1101K by recognizing material issues and recommending professional advice when needed. Accurate schedule. A review prevents disputes, delays, and potential claims after closing.